A third time, it can be a charm and it can be a signal to let you know that something should just go ahead and stop. Which one is this? We'll find out. That's why we're here. The Hangover Part 3. So The Hangover Part 3 is the third installment of the Hangover series, as if you didn't know from the title. The first Hangover movie I never actually reviewed, which is surprising. Long story short, it's awesome. In terms of the whole blacked out the night before, need to find out what we did, the situation that you don't quite want to happen to yourself, but you want to see other people go through it, and in the course of that, maybe go, that wouldn't be too bad, that'd actually be kind of fun. Hangover did it pretty much perfectly. But now we have Hangover 3, and the wolf pack is out again. They're taking Alan to get some help because he's become an asshole now. Then they run into John Goodman, who of course takes Doug, and he's like, find me, Chow, or your friend Doug is dead. Now we have our shenanigans, which is funny because it's a really ballsy move for the separation of the whole hangover scenario, in which there's no hangover scenario. Yeah, it's called The Hangover 3, but no one gets drunk, no one blacks out, they don't have to find out what they did the night before, they just need to find Chow. This movie has more than a few changes and formulas, some of which I thought, okay, cool. Others I was like, not digging it. One of the things I wasn't really feeling is the change of character with Alan. Zach Galifianakis' character, he was always like a lovable idiot type of person who says something and you just pat him on the head and you're like, okay, you're special, so we'll deal with it. But in this one, he's actually an asshole. He's a douchebag. They made him that way to make a story arc in the movie in which he will grow as a person, and that's one of the points of the movie. But you're changing his character to make a story arc in the movie, and that makes it not fit. Honestly, I wish there was a hangover scenario in the movie in which everyone woke up the next morning and someone would be like, where's Alan? And someone else can be like, oh, he's dead. He died of dysentery overnight. Yeah, he tried to walk the Oregon Trail last night, and he tried to ford the river because he thought it was like a foot deep, and the computer told him it was a foot deep, and then he tried to ford it and it sunk, and then he died of dysentery the next day like everyone in elementary school did when they played that game, because that game is impossible. When you turn the lovable idiot into an asshole, that's gutsy. That being said, it's probably not good. Another thing is Chow is a really important part of this movie, which is fine. I imagine you're gonna have him in the third movie anyway. But the thing I don't like is how they have to stress in the movie every 3 seconds how crazy Chow is. I mean, I would buy the fact that Chow is crazy. He was a bit nuts in the first Hangover movie. Just have him act a little strange and I'll buy the fact that he's just not all there. To an unpredictable degree. But in this movie, every chance they get, they had to say out loud, oh man, Chow, he's just crazy. What's wrong with them? Chow is out of his mind. That guy is crazy. Problem is, it starts turning into that scenario where that guy keeps talking about how big his dick is. And at a point, you gotta just go, no, it's not. You're saying that because it's not. In the same sense, we start feeling like, well, Chow's not that crazy, because if he was that crazy, you wouldn't feel like you have to tell us how crazy he is every chance you get. See what I mean? Yeah, it's like that. Hangover 3 did have some good throwbacks to the Hangover 1. You want to see that in the third Hangover movie. So that was pretty cool. You can argue that it was shoehorned into the movie, but as the Hangover 3, of course, they're going to have some throwbacks to the first one. I recognize, and respect the fact that they wanted to take a different direction, because if they took the same direction, which they all drank something and they woke up the next morning and then they had to find out what they did, I would be standing here right now telling you guys it is a rehash of the past 2 movies. You have seen it all before. So I like the fact that they were ballsy enough to take a different direction with this one. However, it does lose a big element that's helped out the Hangover in the past, which is that element of we don't know what happened the night before, so we get to see it unfold with the characters. And taking this new direction, in which case the Hangover is now an adventure movie, it loses that element of intrigue. In the end of all of it, I feel like the Hangover is like The Matrix. They made one great movie, and it was a great solid movie that is a good standalone movie. And they made sequels that never really lived up to it. I'll say The Hangover 3 was enjoyable to watch. It was fun. It certainly had its flaws. In the end, The Hangover 3 is a good time if you're drunk. Yeah, now is a party, which is funny and ironic because it's The Hangover and no one's drunk in the movie at all. Ever. Okay, so The Hangover 3, if I ask you what your favorite Hangover is, it's going to be 1. That's unanimous unless you hate all of them. So I will ask you, between Hangover 3 and Hangover 2, which one do you like more? Whatever you prefer, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.